Well, hello out there, my friends. It's Mrs. Kohli. Today I've got on my exercise outfit and I just want us to get energized as we talk about something really powerful about the secret to your happiness and your students' happiness, both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. And it's taken me about 15 years to kind of put all the pieces together because this year, for whatever reasons, it's just like it's all connecting and all of the different things I've tried to create an environment that helps my students thrive is like paying off. Some of the feedback I'm getting this year is I've got students that started my classroom, two of them, in fact, where they spent the bulk of their year last year in third grade in the principal's office. And this year, just by incorporating a couple of these things, or I guess I should say most of these things that I share with you on my videos, my students are having great days. They love being in my classroom, and they're not visiting the principal's office at all, like zero. And so I thought I would share some of these powerful things with you because as teachers, I know it's important to share what we learn. It's almost like having a support group. So I'm wanting to be there for you. And then if you have great things that you're doing in your classroom, I'd love you to share them with me too. And we can learn from each other and make our teaching profession the best profession out there. Because it truly is. When you know that you are making a big difference in the lives of our next generation, both as readers, mathematicians, and writers, and not only that, but helping them have strong, healthy, emotional problem-solving skills, we're going to change this world. I just know with one student at a time, we can do this. And so today I've kind of changed up this lesson that I created before to make it a little bit better. And so again, it's about the power of positive thinking and how it helps to lead us to happiness. Not only us, but our family, our friends, our students. I mean, whoever we come in contact, we can be magnets to them that help them feel positive energy from us. And so let's go back to Aristotle. Aristotle said happiness depends on ourselves. We need to teach our students and those around us that we create our own happiness. You don't have to go out and buy $1 million toy or the best hot rod out there to be happy, because it's not going to be happy. It's not going to make you happy. It'll make you happy for maybe a month, and then you're going to be wanting something else to try to fill that void of unhappiness. So let's find some other positive quotes that help to encourage us with a new mindset of being a positive thinker. So this one is written by Mahatma Gandhi, and he says this: happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. You're a balanced person because what you say started up here with what you thought. And then naturally, you're going to act out those positive thoughts and those words that you're speaking. And people pick up on that. You can't fake. Well, I guess you can fake it till you make it. But at some point in time, that's what true happiness is when you are in harmony of your thoughts and your actions and your words. So again, the key ingredient here is to just be happy. And I guess if you have to fake it till you make it, at some point you will be able to arrive at Mahatma Gandhi's goal here of having that harmony within us. Another thing to remember is on our journey of happiness is what Abraham Lincoln said. He says, most people are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. And so the best way I've found to become happy is to be a bucket filler, even if we're having a bad day, when we can step outside of ourselves and not worry about us for a minute and try to go fill people's buckets with happiness and love. It just naturally makes you happy. And those are great things to teach your students too. So that your classroom is a happy classroom full of positive energy and people or students being aware of each other's moods and trying to help those that maybe come to school that maybe aren't having the world's greatest day, that we can teach each other how to build that happiness from within. This one is a key ingredient. It's a proverb. It says, if you're too busy to laugh, you are just too busy. So I did some research, and laughter is a very important ingredient into this plan of happiness. It's the research says that laughter truly is the best medicine. It relaxes the body, it boosts your immunity, and it triggers the release of endorphins. And you might say, well, what are endorphins? Well, endorphins are our body's chemicals that help us naturally feel good. So I know I'm dressed for exercise today, but you know what? If you just laugh, you can produce some of the same endorphins that you get when you release those through hard physical exercise, through sweat. And you just have to laugh. That sounds like my form of exercise. It's just laughing. Okay, here's something very important. These are 12 steps to help you become happier and less stressed. And I know in our world, it's a world of stress. So let's go through these quickly and see if there's something here that might help you and your students. The first thing to focus on is those things that we can control. So that's where it begins. What can you control in your life? And start there and make changes in those things first. And it's really important to get that natural sunlight by going on a walk and looking at the beautiful nature around you. That in and of itself will calm you down. And you'll be able to see the world differently just by doing that one step. Also, I did a little bit more research on color, what colors help us to become happier. And these are considered the happy colors. Happy colors are the bright, warm colors like yellow, orange, pink, and red. Pastel colors like peach, light pink, or lilac can also have an uplifting effect on your mood. The brighter and lighter a color, the more happy and optimistic it will make you feel. Another way colors can create happy emotions is by combining multiple primary and secondary colors together for a youthful, colorful effect. So maybe when you're not feeling so good, put on some bright colors and see what happens when you do that. Or look at colors and listen to nice, relaxing music while you look at colors and pictures or whatever you choose, and see if that just naturally helps you to become happier. Also, it's important to talk with someone. Just sometimes by talking, it releases some of that pinned up negative emotion. And it just makes you happy. Crying too. It's okay to cry. Sometimes that's a nice natural release. Taking deep breaths in, deep breaths out is the best form of relaxation technique in a classroom setting. Kids can do it. You teach them in the classroom, and that's something that they can take home and use in their homes if they need to. When they're taking tests, if they have test anxiety, you can use that all the time. It's just a good breathing technique. Also, teaching others or teaching ourselves how to look for opportunities in life's challenges. If we realize that we're here on earth for growth, that's our purpose in being here, then we need to see it for what it is. And when we're going through hard times, say, oh, I'm going to learn so much through this. Or look back on those hard times and say, wow, look at what I achieved. I never gave up. And now I've learned this hard lesson in life. And so make it a positive experience instead of dwelling on the negative. Also, hey, why not go dance it out? Turn on some good hip hop music and dance it out of you. Do the Thriller dance. Also, it's okay to treat yourself. You can treat yourself to some chocolate. Maybe not a half a gallon of chocolate ice cream, but treat yourself. Everybody deserves to indulge now and again. And if you look forward to chocolate at the end of your day, chocolate is really good as a way to relax you, and it gives you some kind of chemical endorphin also, believe it or not, just whatever's in the cocoa. Also, it's okay to reminisce about good times. Remember your childhood, fun times with family and friends. That can't help but make you happy. Look at some home movies. Also, it's okay to ask for a hug. And I know in my classroom, that was one of the things I would always do before we've had, COVID-19 and we have to do social distancing. I used to always give my students a hug before they left and tell them how proud I was of them and, praise them and just let them know how important that they are as they leave. And everybody needs a hug. And sometimes sleep deprivation is our worst enemy. And so make sure you get to bed at an earlier time, or just on a regular schedule. If 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock is the best time for you, try to stick with that schedule while you are going through your work week. And then smile. I try very hard, and I'm very conscious about just smiling. And if it gives me wrinkles, oh well, it was worth it because it makes me happy. So those are some great suggestions. I hope that as you try those, they also help you too. Okay, in my classroom, we like to dream big. And every day before my students step foot in my classroom, I always tell my students, okay, class, what do we like to do? We like to dream big. Each day we come to class, we know we're there for a purpose. We're there to make mistakes, and we're there to learn from our mistakes. Mistakes are accepted, and we realize that that's part of the learning curve. The learning process is by making mistakes. So as we read inspirational quotes to our students or even to ourselves, it helps to inspire us to want to do big things and to not let the little things get in our way and stop us. So this quote was by C.S. Lewis, and I sure like C.S. Lewis's thoughts that he's written in other books. He says, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." And that goes right along with this dreaming big. Once you accomplish one goal or a dream, move on to the next one. Make this life exciting and worth living. Another important thought here was by Thomas Edison. He says, there is no substitute for hard work. It's just usually not naturally going to come to us when we want to learn things. We have to put forth the effort, don't we? How about this quote here? It says, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one single step. It's like baby stepping it through life. And I think that quote comes from maybe What About Bob in that movie. And anyways, it's a great thought about just taking baby steps in life. Bill Murray said it. And another quote or two I want to share with you is, perseverance is falling 19 times and succeeding the 20th. And then down here, I like this one too. An obstacle is often a stepping stone. So when we see our mishaps, if we see our disappointments as stepping stones to get us to the next level and to learn some more important things, then we can be happy. So this is something else that I've incorporated in my classroom this year. And I don't know if you can see these or not. I'll just kind of put it up. Or your home. I'm so hooked now. I have crystals in my home. I have crystals in my classroom. And I'm an advocate now of crystals. I can't believe I just said that. But I've got up here the 10 best crystals for happiness, joy, and positivity. Amethyst, that's this purple one that I have. That's just, if you're wanting something to bring just natural happiness into your classroom or your home, get some amethyst. It's a very beautiful crystal that brings us to a calm and centered state of mind, yet it uplifts us at the same time. And clear quartz, which is right here, the purpose of the clear quartz is an amplifier. So whatever stones you have in, you just need a little one. You don't have to go buy a big one, and it will amplify that energy from the stone. These are natural stones from the earth that have some energy that is used for healing purposes, to kind of center us with our energy. There's energy that flows through our bodies. And so it will just to help center that, and it will help you maybe if you're trying to create this positive energy within you and you're just struggling with it, I would suggest maybe trying some crystals and seeing if that does the trick for you. Rose quartz helps you to love yourself. So if you have a hard time loving and accepting yourself, I advise some rose quartz. And again, I'm not a crystal expert, so please go figure it out for yourself. Go to an expert that knows those stones much better than I do. I just wanted to provide you with a little bit of background knowledge and let you know that there's things out there naturally that come from the earth that can help to bring a positive energy into your home and classroom that maybe you can't bring naturally. The other thing is it's really important for students and ourselves to accomplish goals. That in and of itself will help us to become positive, because there's nothing better than achieving a short-term goal, whether it's a goal you set for a week or a month or 6 months. It is so inspiring and so fulfilling. And so this is a great approach to goal setting. And it was an approach developed by a psychologist from New York University. Her name is Gabrielle Oettingen. I don't really know, but I think that's how you would pronounce it. And she came up with WHOOP. So simply, WHOOP stands for you wish, you see the outcome, you are aware of the obstacles, and you come up with a plan to overcome those obstacles. So this is her terminology. She said students think about a goal or come up with a wish, and they figure out what is the best possible outcome to reach that wish. They're also supposed to think of the obstacles that may be in their way, and then come up with a plan on how to get there, even with those obstacles, because that's life, isn't it? It's not always a perfect path to our desires. There's going to be some thorns along the way, so we have to anticipate that and plow through it. And that, she says, will create students and people, us, me, you, with a more positive attitude. So I say give that one a try and see how you, your family, your students all like the WHOOP approach. Okay, also I like to encourage my students to have good character. And these would be some examples of some short-term goals that we on a daily basis are working on in our class. And I like to encourage my students when they come into my class to be joyful. If students want to start off by a negative attitude, I say, we're not going in the classroom until we can all go in. We're going to say, we're going to dream big today, and we're going to find ways to be positive. So joyful is important. Be neighborly, kind. My classroom is like an extension of a family. We treat each other as such, meaning kindness is the rule of thumb. Also, this year and other years, you may end up with one or two students that just lack control. They lack self-mastery. And so helping to encourage your students to learn how to control their voice and their actions is a key ingredient. I like to use it with a reward system, but that's something you and your students can, if you have a student that lacks that, you can create little incentives to help encourage that. And right here, I have some notes that I have used this year and other years that work. Building relationships of trust is a key ingredient. In fact, I had a student that came to me, I'd say within the week, and she liked to tell me how bad she was last year. That she was in the office. Oh, I got dogs going here. I like dogs around me too. Dogs are just wonderful. Pet them, love them. They can take all your worries away too. Go for a walk with them. That was just my side note. But building relationships of trust is a key ingredient. In fact, I was mentioning about my student, and she told me last year she was in the office on a regular basis. She slept in class. She wouldn't do what her teacher said. And she told me that, and I was listening to her. She'd like to share things personally with me. I took the time to listen to some of her stories when she'd come over. And she told me, she says, you know what, Mrs. Kohli, I was all of these bad things last year, but I'm not those this year. And she says, I want to know why? And I said, yeah, tell me why. She says, because I like you. She likes me and she respects me. And so key ingredient, if you're finding that you're not getting along with some of your students, take time to build a relationship of trust with them so that they like you too. They respect you and they're willing to do those things that you suggest. Like in my classroom, we have a positive attitude. That's just who I am. And that's what I'm trying to teach my students to be. And I love to give out positive rewards. I like to praise. Students love that stuff too. Anytime I see great behavior, I'm going to stop and acknowledge that. It takes time, yeah, but that time is so worth it. And on Fridays, if my students as a class have worked really hard, walking down the hallway quietly or going to their specialty classes, and I get a good report, and if they get more than 10 extra minutes, we go outside as a class. We have the playground to ourselves. And my students have bonding experience. They have recreational therapy time together where they play all a game together. And they like to get me involved, and I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll go play Foursquare with them. They want me to play tag with them. I'm not quite there yet, playing speed tag or whatever the students like to play, but just know that that's when you know that you have built a good relationship of trust, when the students at recess want to involve you in their fun little activities. So anyway, sometimes we forget the importance of being one, being unified as a class. And so I can't say enough about that. And you can see here, I said thankful. That is so important to teach ourselves and our students, the importance of being a thankful, grateful person. And so I'm going to leave this last thought with you. And this is my core. This is my secret ingredient out of everything that I've tried. I started this last year in March, and every day my students are writing in their attitude of gratitude journal 3 things that they're thankful for each day. And I'd say probably the first 3 weeks or so, my student says, I can't think of anything else. And so, of course, I would give them some ideas. And now I have students that write a whole page of things that they're thankful for. And I'll tell you this, I have never, and I've taught about 15 years in a classroom, I've never experienced the power, the positive energy power that's within my classroom this year. I can't wait to go teach. I can't wait for my weekend to be over, to get back in and share the joy of learning with my students and to be part of that and see their happiness as they're growing as learners. And so anyways, I hope that you also are feeling those things, because teaching should be a lot of fun. I don't think there's any profession that can reward you to the intensity that teaching can. So anyways, I hope this was inspiring, and I hope that you're leaving this video knowing that you can do this too. Set it as a short-term goal. See if you can incorporate some of the things I shared with you, and then you'll be able to experience the power and the joy that comes from having a positive attitude, a positive outlook. And just by doing it, just simple things. You don't have to spend $1 million to be happy, because it starts right here, right there with you. So until next time, my favorite colleagues, take care and have a happy day and a great day too. Bye-bye.